everyone, it's Bree and I'm back with another scrapbook process video for the Paige Evans Silhouette Ink design team. And I am working with the Stay Positive cut file designed by Paige. And I have chosen to back it with probably one of my favorite papers in the Bloom Street collection. It is paper number 6 in the single pattern papers, but I'm actually using the one from the 12 by 12 paper pack. And I have already let the Silhouette software do the work for me. I went ahead and offset the letters in the software. That way it would make backing this cut file easy, even though they're letters, so it's not too crazy difficult. But since I was already in there, I just cut the cut file once and then offset the letters to go ahead and cut from that pattern paper number 6. Now, since I have my cut file right there, I had strategically backed the cut file like with keeping the rainbow colors in mind and placement wise, basically. As you can see in the background, I have chosen the flower background stencil or flower stencil background. I think that's what the cut file is called, and cut it on some plain white cardstock because I knew that I wanted some mixed media to be underneath that whole cut file. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be creating the background that will match the colors in rainbow order that I have on my backed letters in the cut file. I hope I explained that like clearly. I had an idea in my head and this is me just going for it and trying it out. Now I've taken some modeling paste and I'm going to be coloring the modeling paste using some shimmer sprays from my stash. And modeling paste dries fairly quickly. So I could have taken the modeling paste and put it in like I think I used 7 different colors. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I could have taken them all, put little clumps of them, and then colored each pile, I guess, or section of modeling paste, but I didn't want it to dry and I didn't want to waste any. So this is why I went color by color. And if you create YouTube videos, as you know, you kind of create differently when filming. At least I do. I know that I'm recording, so sometimes the pressure gets to me. Not gets to me, but I just know that I'm filming and I know I can edit a lot of stuff out, but in this certain case, like I wanted the yellow and the green to blend a lot more smoothly and nicely than it actually did. Like once you see the purple and the blue blend, you'll kind of understand where I was going with it. But since I was filming, I don't know. Maybe I should have turned it off and not let it, kind of get in my head. But I did. So of course you get a little camera shy when you're filming. But anyways, long story short, I colored all the texture pastes and blended them on through the stencil that I created using just plain white cardstock that I have in my stash. That's another way I like to use cut files, and I wanted to get it on film so you guys can see what how I created it and just kind of get the gist of it. So this is the magical part right here. After I've applied all those pastes, is taking the stencil off and seeing all of the paste that has gone through the cut file stencil. Now, I do have to say, I watered down my texture paste by spraying it, adding the color. So it did create a different consistency. So that's why it had a few colors like in the blue and I think in the orange and then maybe in the green, it had seeped out underneath my cardstock. Now, if I were just to have used the plain paste with no color and adding no extra liquid to it, it wouldn't have happened. So as you can see all the texture and how pretty it is, and then you can see that the blue and the purple, how well those colors blended. And that's what I wanted for the green and the yellow. And that green is the first time I've used that color, so I really wasn't sure how it would turn out. So maybe next time I would have used like a lighter green. But now when I put the cut file on top of it, you could see where I was going with making sure that the pink lined up and the orange and the yellow, the green, the blue, and the purple lined up with the heart pattern paper that I used to back my cut file. And I hope I explained that correctly. I feel like I've just been talking for I have been talking for 4 minutes straight, but I wanted to explain it as best as I could. So yeah, I love using cut files as stencils, and it's just another creative way to use a cut file. And this specific background cut file that Paige created was, it was mainly, I guess, created to use it like this. Or you don't have to use paste. You can blend some inks on if you have some distress oxides or regular distress inks. You could just spray them on, like with, spray inks or paint water, or not paint water, but paint watercolors on there. You can do anything with that stencil background. Okay, so I probably, if you look at my Instagram feed, you know that I am completely like on this rainbow trend that is going on, and I love creating rainbow layouts. So that's what I went with here. I went ahead and embellished tone on tone, so pink on pink and yellow and so forth. I have one of those like handmade tassels on the right side that I went ahead and kind of looped at the end of the E. And the photo that I'm documenting is one of my boys. I blew up my kiddie pool that I use for myself. That's funny. And I usually just kind of sit in the sun because we live in Northwest Louisiana, so it's super hot. And I just like to sit and hang out and grill. And so they had ended up jumping in and, we're just having a good time and laughing. And I just love to like take photos of those special moments. One, where they're not arguing, and then two, it's just, I like when they're not looking at the camera, and it's just very natural and just, capturing a moment that they were sharing. And the whole idea of using this Stay Positive cut file is, because right now times are a little uncertain and sometimes scary, and I know that each state or country is maybe slowly starting to get back to what is considered our new normal. And we've been staying home and staying safe and healthy and making the best of the situation. So I know it's tough, but we're enjoying each other and having fun and making memories. And one day we'll look back on it and think, hey, even though it was scary, we did have fun, and we stayed outside and played and just made memories. So I really wanted to use this cut file and document this day that we had during quarantine. So I just used the 4-page sticker book, those, and let's see, those butterflies, and then a few, oh, and I used sequins from the mixed embellishment pack. But for the most part, that's all that I embellished. I kept it pretty simple. I did want my background and that cut file to be the main focus. So there's my final photos. I did add some tangled thread in colors underneath those butterflies. But yeah, that about does it. Thanks so much for commenting, watching, and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.